Hey folks, I'm back with you once again. I just need to share something that happened earlier on today. Now, I'm going to warn you, I'm going to make some assumptions here, but I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but I'm sure I am more right than I am wrong, but I reserve the right to be wrong. Anyway, now, as some of you may or may not know, I work as a courier, and my duties, as well as doing deliveries, I also do collections. And a job came through on my XDA. It's more as like it's a phone with an app that tells you what jobs are coming in, and a job came through that I had to do a collection at a chemist in northwest London. Now, for the benefit of those who are not from the UK, when we say chemist, we mean the pharmacy. Okay, so pulled up to this chemist, and when I came in, there was a few customers there, and the staff made up around, there was about five members of staff behind the counter, and prescription. I don't know where you call that, where you get all your prescription stuff. So it was quite busy, and I got the impression it was run by an Asian family. Now, again, if you're not from the UK, here, when we say Asian, 9 times out of 10, we are talking about South Asia, i.e., Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. So you get the picture, right? Okay. So when I walked in, one of the member staff looked up, and she called out for another member of staff to come to the front and attend to me because they were busy, and they needed help. So this young lady came out, and she looked at me, and before I could even get one word out my mouth, she said, "Oh, you're from APC for the collection." I said, "How did you know that? You must be a mind reader." And she had a slight flirtation look on her face and said, "Yes, I'm a mind reader," and she walked off. And I thought to myself, cheekily, I thought, good thing you're not a mind reader, because physically you're my type, which I'll come to that in a minute. Anyway, she called the guy out who was actually dealing with the collections, and he said, "Oh, you're from APC." I said, "Yes." And I said, "Apparently," I said, "Oh, according to this, you've got 14 boxes to collect." I'm sorry, I just had a notification. "You got 14 boxes to collect?" He said, "Yes, correct." Anyway, so while we were talking to each other, I noticed the same woman, behind the counter. She kept on looking up at me, and obviously I'm looking at her as well. And basically, I sensed, now could be wrong in this, I'm not saying I'm right, but I sensed there was a little bit of a moment between me and her. There was a little bit of that kind of, like, guys, you've walked into a bar or party, and you catch a woman's eye, and then she looks at you for a slight second longer than normal, and hold on a minute, there's something going on. There's a bit of flirtation going on. There's a bit of a moment going on, and I sense this with this woman. And ironically, like I said, she's my type physically, because she was like, when I say plus size, I don't mean big and fat. I mean curvaceous and chunky curves. So basically, if you take a woman who's a size 8, 10, who's physically fit, hourglass figure, she had the same hourglass figure, but she was just bigger version, i.e., like a size 14 to a size 16. I don't know much about women's dress size, but she was chunky and curvy. And I suspect that she probably knows that there's a few brothers, not all brothers, not all black men like big women, but there is a number of black men who do like them on the chunky side, like myself. And she probably knows her fan base. So anyway, that may or may not be the case. But the point of this whole video is, I was saying to myself, isn't it a shame with my assumptions and my experience, even if me and her got together, it'd be over before it even began, because 9 times out of 10, the problem is going to come from her side of the track. The problem's going to be on her side of the family, regardless whether they're Hindu, whether they're Sikh, especially if they're Muslim. I don't care what religion they want to sort of claim to be and how peaceful and loving they are. A lot of them do have that bigoted outlook and racist outlook. Obviously not all. I wouldn't have dated the Asian women I've dated, and a lot of the Asian guys I grew up with and hanged out with over the years, this doesn't apply to them. But they cannot deny, unfortunately, bigotry and racism is a big part of their culture, regardless what religion they are. They can't deny this. So, unfortunately, the problem won't come from my side of the track because I'm public enemy number one. The problem's going to come from her side of the track. And I thought, well, what a shame. In 2019, that still will get in the way now. Some people say, oh, well, this is the reason why you should stick with your own. I have no problem with sticking with your own or whatever, right? If you've seen my other videos, you know my opinion on, I don't really care who dates who. And I'm not going to go into this too tough because I made a whole video on this, but since my teenage years, I've had a warmer reception warmer welcome from women outside of my race most of the time. Not all the time, most of the time. I have dated women, I have dated black women, but most of the time I get a warmer welcome from women outside my race. But I'm not going to go into that right now because there's a video purely on that, so I'm not going to go into that today. But still, it's just a shame that my assumptions is more correct than incorrect. What can I say? Anyway, thanks very much, and I bid you all good night. Okay, bye.